I work with a large restoration company, and they asked me to come over and take a look at one of the properties that they've been assigned. And it's a normal looking residential house, but it looks like it was an occupied home, completely occupied, and then suddenly everybody stood up and walked out the front door and never came back. It's the strangest darn thing. Clothes still in the closet, dishware in the sinks. It's been abandoned for maybe a year and a half, maybe. When you have an abandoned building, you could have all kinds of problems. The attic depends on heat during the winter. It depends on heat because the moisture inside the envelope of the house has to get out through the ridge vent. And during the summer, you get the sun hitting on the roof, and that creates the heat in the attic. But during the winter, you got to have heat in the house, causing an uplift. So there are two issues. One is the attic becomes wet, and then the other issue is humidity stratification in the basement. You don't get a pull, a draw that occurs in an occupied house. We go into the basement, and it's the worst place I've been in maybe in 15 years. Stuff dangling off the floor joists, and it's like fur. It's an ugly, ugly thing, and it's full of contents. So my point of all this is you would get all the contents out, and then you would establish negative air pressure in the basement. The restoration company is going to do that for us. They want to be the ones pulling everything out of the basement, and you have to be thinking about this. When you establish negative air pressure, the air that's going to be coming into the basement, 4 exchanges per hour, is going to come from the upstairs. So if you've got an upstairs that is also toasted with contents and debris and the materials that came out of the basement, they got to take it outside, and you walk through the front door to get to the dumpster. There's going to be a lot of dribbling and a lot of microbial debris on the first floor. In your agreement, you need to be sure that they understand there's not going to be any post-remediation verification test. There's just no way you can do that because the air that you're bringing into your basement is going to be contaminated. And plus, in a condition like this, and the age of the building is probably built in the 40s, there's going to be tiny little cricks and crevices and places that you're not going to be thinking about that's still going to have mold on it. So there are times when you're going to say, I'm not going to be able to meet industry standards for remedial thresholds. It's just not possible. So you can do the best you can with remediation, then you can paint the snot out of the place and see if that works. But everybody's got to be on board with what you're doing and why you're doing it and agree to it and sign something. Take care of yourself. It's dangerous out there. Bob Bennett, Farsight Management. It's better use Farsight than hindsight.